Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thomas here. Hope everybody's doing well on this Wednesday evening or Wednesday morning. Thursday morning, wherever you are in the world. Anyways, so in tonight's video, I'm going to be talking about depression and anxiety and panic attacks. And I have my good friend Nikki here, and her and I are going to be doing another video together here. So, so what I want to start by saying first is, if you have one of these or two of these not illnesses, but if you have if you have all three of these things or two of these things or one of these things, I can't stress enough. There is hope, and I'm here to tell you that there is hope. One thing about me is I enjoy helping people. I like helping people. And I'm talking from experience here. When I had my really bad panic attacks, and when I was going through my really bad anxiety, I was just worrying about things that may not never and they may not happen. So, you know, I'm here to tell you, if you're in a dark place right now, with depression or anxiety or panic attacks, guess what? There is hope. There is definitely hope for you. Whether it's meditation, medication, everybody has, as I mentioned briefly yesterday in another video, there is hope out there. I mean, not hope. Well, there is hope, but help. There is help. So, do you mind? Could you tell us a little bit about? Maybe you did this yesterday. I can't remember. Do you mind talking a little bit? I know you talked a little bit about your anxiety and your, what was it? Your depression. Yep. I know we touched on it a little bit yesterday, but can you go into, if you don't mind, of course, can you talk a little bit about, your experiences and everything, and how you got the help you needed and how you discovered it, and just your experiences with these things.
Well, with my depression, um, it started shortly after my grandma passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the way I noticed it is as having thoughts like, I wish I was in heaven with her.
Right. Yup.
I wish I wasn't here.
Right. Well, we're all glad you're here.
Right.
So how did you overcome that, if you don't mind me asking? How did you overcome your? I mean, I know you still have depression, but how did you make things better in your life? Like, how do I say this? Like, how did you become happier? If you know what I'm trying to
Well,
say.
I actually did a few different things here.
Okay.
The first thing I did is I went to a doctor to get on meds.
Yup. Okay.
The second thing I did is I went through a program called DBT,
Okay.
Dialectical Behavioral Therapy.
And can you tell us a little? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
I was actually just about to.
Oh, sorry.
Which teaches you mindfulness,
Yeah.
interpersonal, effectiveness,
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what the 4 modules are. It's been a few years.
That's all right. No worries.
I'm drawing a blank on what the other two are.
No problem. So basically,
you go through these 4 modules like 3 times and then you graduate the program.
Yeah. And one thing I want to say here is that one thing about anxiety
Oh,
is go ahead.
one more module is skills. Like, for example, there's like self-soothe skills.
Mm-hmm. Yup.
There's um, or not. It's not called skills. It's what is it called? I wish I had my DBT stuff in front of me. I could tell you.
That's all right. No worries. So anyway.
Anyway, there's 4 modules.
Okay.
Purple is mindfulness.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow is interpersonal effectiveness.
Yup.
Green is. It starts with a D.
Detention. No, I'm just kidding.
No. I'm,
Huh.
you know what? Hang on. I'm gonna look up what. Look it up.
All right. While
Speech
you're doing
on.
that,
Stop recording video.
One
Button.
thing I want to say
Speech
here.
off.
Sorry, guys, that's voiceover on my iPad. But one.
Until I find it out.
Yeah, all right. One thing I want to say though is that with anxiety, like I had mentioned briefly yesterday, anxiety, if you have it, will rob you or try to rob you, I should say, of all happiness, and you cannot let it do that. You have to keep fighting. And I know it's hard. I'm talking from experience here. I'm not just talking out of my my butt. I could have said the other word, but I'm gonna not. So I'm not just talking out of my butt. I'm talking from experience here. There is help. There are people who want to help you. I mean, you know, having anxiety is tough. Having panic attacks is tough, and I'm sure that having depression is tough. I have friends who have depression. I dated someone who has depression, and I try to help people, who have depression, and I like helping people, and you know, I can speak on the anxiety part. Now panic attacks are very unpleasant. I wouldn't wish them on my worst enemy if I had a worst enemy. Uh, you know, sorry, that's her voiceover voice you're hearing in the background. But no, I was just letting them know what it is. So anyway, my experiences with panic attacks were my face would get red, my heart would speed up, and I would feel like I was about to pass out. And as quickly as they would come, they they would go. And sometimes I'd feel shaky afterward. But everybody's experiences are different. But the good news is
Oh, distress tolerance. That's the one I was trying to think of that starts with a D.
the good news. Okay, cool. The good news is there is help out there for for depression, for panic attacks, for anxiety. Now, not everybody, believes in medications. Some people believe in meditation. Some people, believe in exercise. I personally don't believe in it, meditation and exercise. I believe in medications.
Oh, that's the other one I forgot.
So it's everybody's got their own beliefs. Everybody does their own thing. But whatever it is for you, if you're going through it, if you have anxiety or if you have bad panic attacks, and if you have depression or if you have one of these or two of these or three of these, you should get the help that you need because honestly, there is happiness out there. Now, when I was researching, when I was having real bad anxiety and panic attacks, and when I was going on YouTube trying to find out what the hell was wrong with me, well, not what the heck was wrong with me, but like I was trying to like research like stuff, and when I went on people's YouTube channels, they were saying the same thing that I'm saying right now. They were saying there's help out there, this and that, and I thought to myself, no, there isn't, and I honestly thought that I'd never feel happy again because that's what anxiety will do to you. It will rob you or try to rob you of all happiness, and it will control you. or try to control you anyway. And then what sometimes what comes anxiety is racing thoughts, negative thoughts, worrying thoughts. So there is help out there. So one thing I forgot to ask you is, you say you have anxiety, right? So two
Yes.
questions. One, do you have racing thoughts or negative thoughts or worrying thoughts or intrusive thoughts? Two, the other question is, have you ever had, a panic attack, or did you ever suffer from them, or do you have them?
Negative thoughts and worrying thoughts.
Okay. What about them? You
I
have
have them
you,
both. I've had them both.
oh, okay. And like, what were the thoughts about?
I don't even remember.
Well, that's good, I guess, right? How did you overcome those thoughts?
Again, getting the help I needed.
Oh, okay. All right. And panic attacks, you never had those?
I've had one, maybe two.
One, maybe two. You're lucky. I mean, not because you had them, because you didn't have that many. What were they like for you? What was your experience? What did you feel physically?
Well, one was when I accidentally took two sumatriptan too close together.
To what?
Sumatriptan, it's a migraine medicine.
Ah, okay. All right. So, what did you feel physically?
I was having difficulty breathing. My heart was racing.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
I mean, it was like, like really fast.
Yeah. Now, another thing I want to say here is, if you're someone who suffers from, let's just talk about depression for a minute, and you sleep all day, you what is it, you don't get out of the house, you just lay in bed, try do things in small steps. Do things in small steps. Maybe it's get out of bed, try to get out of bed, and try to get out of bed, maybe walk around your house, and then if you feel comfortable, like, go outside, feel the fresh air, like,
Yeah.
it's important to get outside. It's when people have depression, I know sometimes they like to isolate themselves, right?
Yes.
So it's important if you can.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. So it's important if you can to get out of the house. I know it's hard. I know, you might be saying, "No, I don't want to get out of the house. I want to stay in bed all day." I understand that. I do. I totally understand that. That's how I felt when I was having my anxiety and my panic attacks. I didn't want to go anywhere because I was afraid I was going to have a panic attack somewhere. So, what would you say now? I mean, do you agree with me? What do you think?
Yes.
Yeah, it's important to get out of the house if you can. Go meet friends, whatever. Go spend time with your family, whatever it is. Just try to get out of the house. What?
And I was gonna
If you
say,
can.
if at this point in your depression, if you can't get out of the house, maybe invite people over.
Yeah, invite people over to your house, And if you feel anxious, if you feel like you're going to have an anxiety attack or a panic attack, and if you're on medications, then take a medication before, take a pill or whatever you take, if you take anything. And of course, when I say you, I'm speaking to everyone, whoever's listening or watching. Take if you're on medications or a medication for your anxiety and panic attacks and depression or whatever, take a pill. If you have social anxiety, maybe you should just maybe you should take the a pill or pills. This way, you'll be comfortable and you'll be calm and happy or whatever when your guests come over, right?
Yeah. And to go back to the DBT thing,
Yep.
the 4 modules are emotion regulation, mindfulness, distress tolerance, and interpersonal effectiveness.
Okay.
I just wanted to get that out there before I forgot.
Yeah. No problem. And as I said yesterday, not to repeat myself, but there is a great YouTube channel out there for people who have depression